Hi there. So I was just kind of out here in the garden. I kind of need some relaxing time, and so I came to pull weeds. I don't know what it is about pulling weeds, but I just love it. It just relaxes me and kind of calms me down, and it's always a good, rewarding experience in the end when all the weeds are pulled. So I don't know, I'm one of those weird people who loves pulling weeds. But anyway, I was out here and I noticed, I don't know how I didn't notice it, but all my Supertunia Mini Vista, I think it's indigo, petunias are like dead, basically. I haven't fertilized them all season. Usually I'll come around about once every week to 2 weeks and fertilize my annuals with just some water soluble Proven Winners fertilizer, and I just haven't done it this year. I've been so busy doing other things, and I think I'm just gonna pull them out. So I was thinking I'm gonna pull them out, and I know it's really sad, but they look super bad. And I have some other annuals that I've kind of been growing on over here that my sister started for me from seed. They are big begonias, but she got them started a little bit late, but some of them look really good. So I think I'm going to take them from this little area and add them up in that little bed up there. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, so here I have just a handful of big begonias that got started a little bit late in my sister's greenhouse. They are gorgeous, and you can see like that's one plant right there. Usually not like a huge petunia fan because they do need a lot of fertilizer, and I don't like the extra work of fertilizing it. So I usually don't plant them. But I broke down and did it this year because they were on sale, and I don't know, I probably won't do it again. To be honest, I think it looks better without them in there. So is that, oh, this bird. One of you told me what this bird was. I think something chickadee is the tiniest little bird, and he just chirps at me all the time that I'm out here. And I told him, I'm like, you know, I gave you that house to live in for free. So I'm not trying to hurt you. Like, you don't have to chirp at me all day. All right, let's go get my big begonias. These are the big begonia rose, and these are the red. And I'm thinking maybe I'll just take, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red ones right here. Maybe I'll just take those 6 red ones. I can't help myself with the weeds. It's like, it's addicting. underneath this tree, I have poison ivy. That is poison ivy right there. And then, here, let's see if I can show you. Get this out of the way. That is poison ivy too, that big one. So what I'm gonna do is, I always have like a bag of a bunch of grocery bags. I carry these with me when I am weeding. And so I'll just grab the bag like this. And actually I'm gonna take my scrunchie off because I don't want that to get poison ivy on it. Just in case. We'll put it in my hair. So make sure you have gloves on. I kind of take the bag and put it inside out with my hand in it, like this. And then I'm gonna grab it, almost like you would like if you're cleaning up after your dog at the dog park when he goes to the bathroom. So I'm gonna go in here and grab it. That's one too. And I'm gonna be really careful when I grab this other one because it's big. And you want to make sure to get all the roots with it too. And I'm just gonna make sure there's nothing else in here before I close up the bag. So yeah, then you'll just take the bag like this. Make sure you do not touch any of the roots or the leaves, any of it. It's all poison. Oh, there's a root sticking out right there, see? So I'm not even gonna bother with touching it. I'm just gonna get another bag. And somehow grab that bag. This. Okay. And then I wrap this up and throw it in the trash can. And that's how I take care of poison ivy when I'm weeding. Well, I wasn't planning on getting into the poison ivy today, but I really can't go any further with my weeding until I take care of that poison ivy properly because I don't even want to touch it with my gloves. I would rather just go around, grab a bunch of plastic bags, get the poison ivy out properly, and then continue weeding. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So I did go inside and put a long sleeve shirt on just to protect my arms a little bit more just in case. I've been doing this for a really long time though, so I'm pretty good at steering clear of it and not getting it on my skin. I take very good precautions when it comes to poison ivy because if I don't, it's a nightmare for me. So I'm gonna do that. I also put a hat on because it kind of holds my hair back a lot better and I'm not like, you know, rubbing my face and things like that. So let's go around and do that first and then we'll keep weeding. And I gotta show you this cute little frog. Hi buddy. What you doing? He's hiding right in there. So sad. Alright, we'll leave him alone. Alright y'all, let's go poison ivy hunting. Oh, I had to stop and show you how beautiful my impatiens are looking. And these are planted in the full sun. And my allium is starting to bloom. So pretty. Alright, let's go in here. There's usually poison ivy in here. I did come out here the other day and pull a bunch of it because my family was coming over for a little pool party, and I didn't want the kids, all my nieces and nephews, to come out here because they love coming into my garden. I didn't want them to come out here and get into it. So I think I got most of it pretty good. I think we're good in here. And the poison ivy looks very similar to this. This is the Virginia creeper, but Virginia creeper's got 5 leaves. And when it first emerges, it will start with like 3 leaves. But if you look closely, there's usually a leaf set on there with about 4 or 5 leaves, and then you're like, okay, yeah, that's Virginia creeper. I'll try to find one, but it does look very similar. All right, I'm not seeing any in here, which is great. Well, hold on a sec. Oh, look, my lupine is blooming again, or lupin. It likes this spot so far. And I'm pretty sure that's a poison ivy right there by that fern, so I'm gonna grab that. See if there's any in here. It's super windy out here. See my flag? We had a giant storm come through here last night. The neighboring town is actually out of power. I have everything that I just collected, I have right here in my hand. So I'm gonna actually bag this up real quick, and that way I can show you, but you just gotta be really careful, making sure to get all the leaves in, and then all those roots in as well. And like I said, I don't even want to really touch it with my gloves if I can help it, because then I'll, you know, whatever I touch with my gloves, I'll get poison ivy on it. So I just do like that, kind of wrap it up really good, and then I'll put it all in like one giant one at the end. But we'll just set that aside for now. And I'm gonna put a rock on it so it doesn't blow away. Okay, so this right here, this looks like it is poison ivy, but it's not. It's actually a Virginia creeper. So here's one leaf right here, and it's got the 5 leaves on it. You see that? Same thing over here. So you can see here's one with 5 leaves. Here's one with 4, or right here. Here's one with 4, and then there's a little tiny leaf right there. But this right here, well, okay, this is actually a better example. Here, I'm just gonna pull it out. So this has the 5 leaves on it, and now that only has 3, but it just hasn't grown the other 2 leaves yet. Okay. Where's that one go? Yeah, so these ones down here, that has 5 with a little one. But if you were to just look at these bottom leaves, you know, it would look, that looks exactly like poison ivy, that 3-leaf one. But if you keep looking up the vine, you'll see in fact that it's going to grow more leaves. I hope that makes sense. All right, I see some more. Little baby one right there. Just gonna grab it. And make sure to get the whole root. That had a big root on it for a little tiny plant. All right, let's look over here. So that right there is Virginia creeper. That little one right there is poison ivy. Grab that. Well, wait a minute. Yep, poison ivy. Right, I see some back here. That one right there. Make sure to get it. Grab that one just in case. And then that's one too. So is that. Now, if I let this go, it would eventually get like a little bush and it would start climbing up this tree. Alright, so then you also have to be careful because I see some in this hosta right here. It's a pretty good size plant. It's hiding right down in there. See it? So I'm going to carefully pull back these leaves and try not to touch it. And I'm going to go in here, make sure I get the whole root. And just kind of, that's a bigger one. So I'm just kind of, you know, eat it up here with my glove, or with the thing, with the bag. Alright. There's a nice, cute little heuchera grown right there. I should transplant him somewhere where he can shine. Alright, so I'm just kind of inspecting underneath all these hosta leaves here, making sure I don't miss any. Because what will happen is I'll come in here and just start weeding away. And I'll have gloves on and everything, but then, you know, you're not thinking and you go and push your hair back with your gloves, or you pull your shorts down with your gloves, and then you got poison ivy oil on the top of your legs. You know, you put your hair back behind your ears and you got poison ivy behind your ears. You rub your eye. Like, it's pretty bad. You can see the storm came through here. Got some sticks down. But this area looks pretty good. Let's see. Just gotta be careful. I had some in here the other day, but I sprayed it with Roundup, and then I came in and pulled the root out. It was a pretty big bush. And yeah, when that happens, when you have, you know, when it kind of starts growing, like for instance, that one I just pulled out that was underneath the hosta there, you know, if I wouldn't have caught that, it would have grown bigger and bigger into a bigger bush. And at that point, it's really hard to grab with a, I feel like I see some in this tree. Check it out. It's really hard to grab with a bag. So at that point, I like to spray it. Yep, I see some in there. And I don't want to grab with a bag. This is something I would probably spray because I don't want to stick any of my hand in there. And see that vine right there? That is a poison ivy vine that grew up this tree before we bought our property and built our house. So that is an example of what it could do if it gets out of control. But you can tell because it has like the hairy roots that come out of the vine. This one is cut off right there. It's been cut off, so I'm still not going to touch it. They say that the urushiol, I can't pronounce it. It's the oil that's in poison ivy. They say that it can stay in a dead vine for up to like 10 years. So I just leave it there, and maybe eventually I'll have like a professional come in here and actually remove the vines, because I have a few of them hanging still, like right there. That one's kind of hanging down, but I just, you know, steer clear of it. And this has been cut for probably 6 years, but I still am not going to touch it, and I will let a professional deal with that. Let's see here. I think this area should be pretty good too, because like I said, we just had like my family come over, and my nieces and nephews like to run around the garden, and I came out here and pulled, nope. Pulled a lot, but missed that big one. That dirty dog. Missed it. It's a big one. As you can see here, I'm on the edge of the woods. So I'm never going to be able to fully control it. I can see tons of poison ivy, little tiny plants, all in here. So it's just something I have to be careful and, leery of, and make sure I'm paying attention. I just have to be super careful when I'm weeding and planting and things like that. But like I said, I know how to take care of it. I've had lots of scares in the emergency office. There's one right there. And I'm pretty good at identifying it thanks to my neighbor. My neighbor showed it to me one day and taught me how to identify it, and thank God for her. It was straight from Jesus. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Kind of like just beat it. Beat it up as much into the bag as I can. Like this in there. And just kind of just like roll it up. And then I'll go grab that other bag that I set under the rock over there. And see, like, if I touched it with my gloves, I would have just went and pushed my sunnies back on, and then I'd have poison ivy oil on my sunglasses right there. I mean, that will stay there forever, and I'd be getting poison ivy on my eyeballs and not wondering what the heck's going on. So I don't even touch it with my gloves. That's why I use the plastic bag. And did I lose? Oh no, they're in my pocket. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on the other side of my house and see if I can find any. I see some right there already. Just looking over there. And then we will get to weeding the rest of my garden.
I've always been crazy in the trouble that it's put me through. I've been busted for things that I did and didn't do. I can't say I'm proud of all of the things that I've done, but I can say that I've never intentionally hurt anyone. I've always been different, with one foot over the line. One end of somewhere, one step ahead or behind. It ain't been so easy, but I guess that I shouldn't complain. I've always been crazy, but it's kept me from going insane. Beautiful lady, are you sure that you understand? The chances you're taking, loving a free living man. Are you really sure that you really want what you see? Be careful of something that's just what you want it to be. I've always been crazy, but it's kept me from going insane. Nobody
this weeded, and in here I have got 5 Limelight Hydrangeas. They're getting massive, and in between each Limelight I have a Cleveland pear. So I planted these bigger ones I think 2 summers ago, and then the smaller Cleveland pears I have in here are, where is it? There's a lot more smaller. So right there, those ones I just planted this spring. And then on either side of the Limelights I have Dulce silver gumdrop, and you can kind of see this one. It's being trampled on by this massive hydrangea. So I may trim this up a little bit, maybe bring some of these blooms in the house. But there's another Dulce silver gumdrop. These are really pretty. It kind of reminds me of the Timeless Treasure. But yeah, it looks a lot better in here. There's another Cleveland pear. And I kind of cleaned up the line a little bit. But, oh my gosh, look at that area. Looks so much better. Holy cow. So I kind of cleaned up the line between my property and my neighbor's property. My neighbor is so nice that she doesn't really care if I creep into her yard, like with my hydrangeas and stuff. I feel a little bit bad that they're coming over the line a little bit, but she's super nice about it. And yeah, so I think that turned out pretty good. It's looking really nice. And then coming up here on my mailbox bed, that looks really pretty. I love how thick this is growing in with that just regular old Victoria blue salvia, and then some red big begonias and white geraniums. I think next year I want to do the same thing. This is my favorite planting that I've done out here at my mailbox bed, but I will probably add some white euphorbia in the front. I think that would be really pretty because the geraniums don't put on tons of white, and as soon as they're done blooming they get brown like that. So I think if I had some white euphorbia out here, that would really help kind of bring the red, white, and blue. Then over here, it's a super windy day. So this is all weeded up. Yeah, this is all weeded up. Besides these tiny little weeds, there's so many of them. There's like millions of them. There's no way I am coming out here and gonna get all those up. I feel like they're gonna die off pretty soon. So I just kind of left most of them. Some of them I kind of rustled up the mulch there in hopes that they would uproot themselves, but I mean, I don't know. From afar, it looks a lot better. So I did not come out here and weed my gully garden. I think I'm going to say this for another day because these are different kind of weeds in here. This all used to be just trees and shrubs and weeds, and just basically it was the woods, and I cleaned it out. So any weeds that pop up in here, oh my gosh, I'm getting poked by these Cleome. Just a second. Okay. Any weeds that pop up in here are usually like some old tree roots that I'm just trying to get to stop coming back, like that. And I can't just pull that out. I have to actually get my shovel and dig it out if I want it to, in fact, not ever come back. So as you can see, all these weeds, they're basically trees, like that, those, all these little clumps of green you see in here, those are all just trees that I need to come in and dig out with my shovel. So I think I'm going to save that for another day. Yeah, because that takes a little bit more time, and maybe I'll show you how I do that. But there's another one right there. Oh, this caramel heuchera is so pretty up next to that red. Yeah, see, there's that one I might be able to pull out, but no, see, when you pull them out, that's what happens. Can you see that? It doesn't get any root. And you just end up having to keep pulling it out. It keeps coming back. Yeah, we will save that for another day. See, there's another one. I'll show you. Even if I like get a good grip on it, see, it didn't get any roots with it. And that will come right back. But anyway, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Really, I truly want to thank you. There's lots of things you could be clicking on and spending your time watching, and you made it to the end of me reading my garden movie, so thank you. It's really nice of you. But anyway, yeah, I hope that helped. If you guys deal with poison ivy in your garden, that's just like a simple, easy, foolproof way of dealing with it and discarding it. And then I don't think I showed you, but those 2 bags that I had, I put inside of another bag, and then I wrapped that up really tight, tied it in 2 knots, and then threw it in my trash can. So that's how you want to dispose of it, and make sure you get the root out. And that's how I've continually tried to keep it out of my garden, and hopefully one of these days we won't see it popping up as much. I have seen it like cut down a little bit as I've been doing that. I used to just go around and spray it with Roundup, and I mean, it would kill the stuff that was on top of the soil, but the roots were still in there. So this is just a nice method that I like to use. And yeah, it felt good to weed, especially over there on the other side near my sweet neighbor's house, because I just feel bad that my my hydrangeas are already growing into her yard. And yeah, but anyway. All right, thanks again. We'll see you later. Have just an awesome day. Bye. So far